Ladies, ask me a question. What's worse? Um,
Oh
Getting a
man.
man to pay your rent after you then gave him some, or letting a man have it for free when it wasn't even, and he gave you absolutely nothing in return.
Rather be a
What's
paid hoe
worse?
than a broke one.
I think me having to put out for the money at all is horrible. Cause, huh?
Exactly.
I'm just saying, like you either gonna be putting out for free, or you gonna be putting out to where you know you this man is able to like pay your rent, or he's able to afford like to do something, afford to take you out on a date or something. But for these men, you basically telling these ladies that to be with the pookies, the broke dudes, the ones
Who
that just
said be
got the
with the
lip,
broke
the
dudes?
mouth of gab. Like just give it up. Just give it up to these men that don't want to afford to do anything for you, ladies. Just give it up to them, because the men that because if you expect a man to like if take you out on a date, you're a prostitute apparently.
Yeah, a man with
What's
money
wrong with the
rarely
average
complains.
guy?
A man with money
Ain't that
rarely
what they've been
complains
doing
about having
anyway?
to pay someone's rent if he's getting what he wants.
Did I say the average guy? See, that's the problem. Whenever somebody says you want a man who's financially stable, you're like, what's wrong with the average guy? Yeah, the average guy is financially stable. Nobody's asking for a wealthy man. We're saying we want a man who's financially stable. But whenever we say financially stable, you guys automatically assume that he got to be on a yacht. Like we looking for the man that's on a yacht. We just looking for a
Right.
man that has a stable job that can afford to take care of a family. Like I'm not going to ever advise my child to be, and I don't know any woman with a daddy, because y'all say y'all love women with fathers, like she need to have a father. Ain't no man but advise her daughter to date a man that's not financially stable, that cannot take care of a family, that can't even take her out on a date, but he still wants to draw.
Yeah, my father
What
definitely didn't. Right. I totally agree with you.
The
That's
men are
it.
so backwards. It's like they wouldn't advise their daughters they would advise their daughters to find men who could be providers, but then they complain when that's what women want.
What do
here's the
women
thing,
complain
doing
about?
and saying
What do
real
women
quick,
complain about?
everything.
Not being able to provide.
Right, but they complain about the men that they chose not being able to provide, not men in general.
Most men can't provide by themselves in today's
Have you
economy,
been
at
with most
least.
men? Have you been with most
I'm
men?
just going off of the
Yes.
statistics of how inflation and everything and how much it costs to live and survive. So most men will meet that
So
requirement.
perfect. So think about the economy right now. These children, perfect example. Us right now, we're here struggling. These kids are gonna have to grow up with parents that are not healed. They don't have a lot of them don't have educations. Okay, the mom got an education. Maybe the father doesn't have one. Maybe the father does. Who knows? From what I've been hearing, these women have been picking the wrong men for so long that I don't believe they know how to pick the right man. I don't even think they know what a right man is.
I
And they
don't know
keep
that
defining a man about finances. It's
I
always
don't know
about
that there
finances.
are I don't know that there are enough quote unquote right men for women.
Oh,
Vice
there
versa.
are, but
There
they're
are.
just avoiding. A lot of
Let,
men are just avoiding the conversations that a lot of these women like to have because we don't. As soon as I hear these men ain't this, I've already tuned out because I already know you're not gonna have. Now, if you would say, "Hey, the man I chose," now I can respect you because I'm like, okay, at least she know she made a mistake. Because I make mistakes too. Don't get me wrong. I've dated women who superficially probably dated me because I was a nice looking guy or because I had a nice car and all these other things. And I've been in school for a long parts of my life and all that type of those things. So once you build your wealth or build yourself as a man, you start to have access to the women that you want to have access to. You don't necessarily need to talk to a bunch of random women in society. They come up to you. You always hear women say, "Oh, I don't approach men, and I'm not going to do this, and I'm not going to do that." And oftentimes, those are the same women who are not going to compromise in relationships. They're not going to
Hmm.
come to common ground. And it's like, why even waste your time as a man? Listen to these women. Like a woman said it earlier today, there are a bunch of women that's marginalized because they don't look good. They hair not long enough. They wear a bunch of wigs, wear a bunch of makeup. Maybe their body type 12, like you said earlier, 12 size, whoever. I never tell men to marginalize women. I just tell them to get around the women who respect them and honor them and want to be a part of their lives and build something foundationally. And you don't hear women talking about that. You hear them talking about building something foundationally with somebody else's money, but they never talk about pouring their finances and resources into a household. And when they do, they want to control the relationship. So why are we even coming to the table with a bunch of women, having a conversation with a bunch of women who haven't seen a conducive relationship? They have not I know the trauma in their lives, and their moms and whatever women that were supposed to guide them in life are going through the same exact things. They're competing for the same type of men. So these men don't have much to look at as well. While women keep complaining, there ain't a lot of women for men to be looking at in that positive light either.
I agree, but that's all conjecture, right? What I'm talking about is facts, right?
And
According to
speaking of,
blackdemographics.com, 33% of black men make $50,000 or more. So that's less than half that can meet that quote unquote provider requirement, right? So I would say, and with stats, there are not enough men who meet that basic requirement that girls are raised to find men who can provide for their families.
Here's the
Wait,
thing.
what is the provider requirement?
Well, I guess to be able to afford the
No, no,
well, it
no,
rent,
no.
depends on what you
No,
want
no, no. I'm
in a
asking her.
but
relationship. Like I
No,
said
that
no,
would
before,
definitely
if
be
you
no, no.
statewide.
require
I want her to answer. What is the provider requirement? So, because I don't know what the provider requirement is. I don't know if anyone else on this panel or in this room knows. So all of us can be very clear. What is the provider requirement, Alandrea?
The provider requirement is to be able to financially provide for a family, right? So if you want to have kids, then assuming right at least one kid, right? You have to be able to provide for a family of 3 or a family of 4 if you want 2 kids, right? That's the provider requirement.
So if a man, there's plenty of men out here being providers on $50,000 or $60,000.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Yes,
there's
and
men
I
out
said only
here,
33% of men black men make $50,000 or more. So that means that the other 67%, don't quote me on that math, are not even making 50,000.
okay, so if a man, even if a man is making $40,000, if he's able to have a roof over his head and he's able to pay his bills, all of his monthly expenses, and whether he has money left over or he has like a couple $100 left over, that still qualifies him to be financially stable, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So
And
women want a man that is financially stable, right?
so I wanted to add on to that and say I go by the motto.
I'm sorry, India Love. 1 second.
I'm sorry.
I'm talking to you. Is that so? That qualifies him to be financially stable, right?
I'm sorry, I forgot what you said. It was a minute ago.
So
what
again, if this man is making $40,000 or $40,000 to $45,000 a year, and he's able to pay his monthly expenses, and even if let's say even after paying his monthly expenses, he has $100 to $300 left over, that qualifies him to be financially stable, right?
I would have to say no. I don't think unless he lives in the South. I'm from Jersey, so no one's living off of $45,000 by themselves in a good area, a safe area.
Okay, but from what I've been told, a man that is financially stable has his own place and is able to pay his own bills. That's what you black women on this app have said. So the only way, so if he's making $45,000 and you talk about him and he's able to pay all of his monthly expenses, and you're saying that he doesn't have the ability to be a provider, you're saying that he doesn't have the ability to be a provider because you want a man that can take on 100% of the financial load. Again, even though that is not reality, and it is not going to be reality for you most women. So you're shitting on the average man again. So he makes 45,000, you make 45,000. So now y'all have $80,000 to $90,000. So even if he was staying in a 400 square foot studio and you were staying in a 600 square foot studio, or maybe you found a 1-bedroom apartment, 1 bed, 1 bath that you were able to afford on your 40 to 45,000. Now y'all are able to take y'all 80 to 90 and put that together and do something with that and work off of that money. But
You're
you guys,
absolutely
but you women don't believe in teamwork, right? Because he needs to take on 100% of the financial burden, right, Zilla? Right, Rebel?
Well, I
That's
actually
correct.
agree with what you said, but I would say this: if you ask men what they're looking for in a woman, most of them aren't going to say a provider, which means that women are not raised to have to meet that requirement. So that's only if she's making $45,000 a year. But women aren't taught that they need to go out and make make money in order to find a man. That's not what they're taught. So a woman doesn't have to meet that requirement, whereas a man does.
Okay. India Love,
And a lot of you guys,
Can I say
you
some?
that
go
requires
ahead, India Love.
right?
Okay, because somebody in the comments, I don't know if
Go-
you guys are reading this, but basically, I see exactly where the host is coming from, and I think Rebel, and because I don't believe in. First of all, you're working. Good job. Good for you. First of all, you work at McDonald's, you work at Wendy's, you work as a lawyer, police officer. You're working. Work ethic. Good for you. That's that. Now, as for standards, I go personally based off of. I'm not going to ask for what I'm not willing to do. I don't think it's fair. That's just me. So if I'm not willing to meet those standards, if somebody is, I don't know. I'm not going to ask for, oh, I need a rich man. I just feel like that's just not how but to each their own, right? I'm not going to shame women who go like that, but that's just not how I roll. And I just don't understand why it's fixated off, oh, if he makes this amount, he is average, or she, whichever way, it works both ways. They are average and you are settling for less. Like this person in the comments is demonizing someone because they don't make a certain amount of money, even if that certain amount of money is able to provide for somebody and that person is able to check off all the boxes of standards for a person, because there's more to a person than just money. I swear to God, I hope you're not just going for money. Then that's a whole other topic. I don't get why we're shaming people if they're
Because
able to, yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, India, but that's exactly what these black women are going for, and that's why I had to speak to what. Am I saying your name right, ma'am? Is it Alandrea? Is that how you pronounce it?
Thank you so much for asking. It's Alondria.
Alondria, sorry, thank you. That's why I had to address what Alondria said. And someone in the comments said, let's be honest, nobody's like taking care of a family on 45K. But it's on I don't even want to say only black women, but from what I've seen, just a large percentage of black women at a very large scale, it's like their money. Then they say this: my money is my money and your money is our money. So at the end of the day, if we're supposed to be a family, if we're supposed to be a collective unit, if I'm going to be working, and let's hypothetically, if that black man is going to be working and making his 45K, and that woman is going to be working, and let's just say she's making 45K, she could be making more. They have $90,000 to $100,000 to work with. But for a man to be a provider in a lot of these women's eyes, he needs to be able to take care of everything 100%. So this woman is going to wake up and go to work and make her money, live in this household that this man is paying for, whether he's paying a mortgage, whether he's paying a rent. She's going to drive this car that this man is paying the car insurance on and or the car note on. He's going to use all of his money to buy the groceries. Let's say they do have one kid. He's going to buy all the diapers, all the formula. Like what planet do y'all live on?
Well,
Again,
it's like
that is not that 1 second. That is not reality for y'all. That has never been a reality for majority of y'all, and it's never ever going to be a reality for y'all. Like what planet do y'all live on? That's not even a reality for majority of white women, Asian women, Hispanic women. That is not the reality. If that's what you want to be your reality, you need to get a man, and y'all need to move to like Thailand. Y'all need to move to Bali, Indonesia. Y'all need to move somewhere to where that man that's making that 45K, maybe he can work 100% remotely, and you won't have to do anything. But if you want to live in the United States of America, your ass is going to work. You work
well,
right now. Why are you looking for a man to come
Let
save
me
you?
tell you,
well,
Ladies,
the issue.
nobody is coming to save you,
this is
okay?
the problem that we have with working
Especially
moms.
with the mentality
Let
and
me
the
tell you about working
attitudes
moms.
and the miles that you guys have. Nobody is coming to save you. What makes y'all think that y'all get on this app and talk the way you do, and you think that you're making yourself sound appealing to men? You think you're making yourself sound like a man that's making X amount of money that can be this provider that you want and seek and desire so bad. What makes you think you, out of all women, is the woman that he wants to do that for?
I know I'm not that woman. I don't
So
care,
let
but
me
I'm just
ask you
talking
something
about.
about working moms. Oh, go,
Go ahead,
Landry.
Miss
Can I go
Betty.
after Landry?
So what I was trying to say is this is
Oh,
something we hear
no.
men on TikTok. This is something we hear men say on TikTok all the time. I don't care about a woman's money. I don't care about a woman's money. She could work at Burger King. I don't care. So if men don't care about a woman's money, then yes, we shouldn't have to work. We shouldn't have to have that $45,000 a year to match your 45 so that we can have 90 together. No, 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 no. If you don't care about our money, that means that you can afford this family of 4 or family of 3 if we have kids by yourself. My money is a non-motherfucking factor according to the men. So you can't say that. So no, you do have to go out and make something for yourself as a man if you couldn't care less what a woman makes anyway, because you are the provider, because that is the status quo, that the man is a provider, the woman's, the nurturer, whatever. She's the one that carries the kids and all of those things, right? This is the provider for men. Men do not have the requirement. Most men don't have the requirement that women need to go out and make money before they meet them. She needs to do something for herself. No, she just needs to be feminine. She needs to be fit and healthy. She needs to be a submissive woman. She needs to be nurturing and be a good mother. But the money requirement is rarely ever anything you will hear a man say. So it's like, which one is it?
Okay. Let me address. So you just said, 1 second, Glammy, because Betty needs to speak and then India needs to speak and then you'll get to speak. So you just told me, I don't know. Did you say less than? What did you say? Did you say 50% of? Did you say 33% of black men make $50,000 or more, or did you
Yeah,
say 33% of men?
33% of black men according to blackdemographics.com.
Okay. So when we are having these conversations, we're talking about black men and black women. So I don't give a damn what these men come on this app and say. I don't give a damn about them coming on here and saying that, they own a trucking business or they have a business that has 2,000 employees and this, that, and the third. The numbers, despite what men and women come on here, we know what the truth is at the end of the day. So you shouldn't be putting, and I hope you're not doing this, but you shouldn't be putting so much stock into what strangers on the internet are saying, okay? Again, all the women on this app, they're all 6-figure nail technicians. They all 6-figure lash technicians. They all sell weave. They all sell wigs. They all make, $20,000 a month selling wigs. All the men on here, they have a fleet of 18 trucks. They make $5,000 a day. It's social media, okay? We know what the numbers are at the end of the day. So I say that to say, if you just told me that very small percentage of black men make that amount of money, if you're looking for a provider, for this provider that can foot this 100% of the financial load, why would you be looking for it? What percentage of black men will be able to do that for you then? If based off of off these statistics that you just provided for me, if you know that majority of black men cannot do that, then what logically, how can you think that you're going to be afforded the opportunity to not work being with a black man?
Can I ask one more question, then I'll drop, or I'll be
No,
quiet.
answer my question, then you can answer my question,
It's
then you
not
can ask me a
realistic.
question.
It's not realistic at all. Can I ask you a follow-up question?
Yeah.
The man that is high earners, right? The kind of woman that he can get. Do you think that's the kind of woman an average or low earner man can get?
You asked the kind of woman that a high earning man can get. Is that the
It can a low earning or average man get the same woman that a high earning man can get?
in most cases, no. But I also want to throw a caveat in there. Not because a man is high earning doesn't mean that he's not having woman problems. There's
Fair
there's a
enough.
lot there's a lot of men that never had any motion when it came to girls. They never had any motion in elementary school, middle school, high school. They didn't go to prom, college. They didn't have any motion with girls. And then finally, when they grew up and they got their little big boy job and started making some money, they still never built that social skill with women. So a man having money does not automatically correlate to him, being able to attract certain caliber of women or just have women in general. But to answer your question, in most cases, no.
So if I'm right, I'm a plus size or obese, whatever you want to call a woman, right? I'm not attracting that high earning man, but I would literally say the same exact thing to the average or low earning men. You are not attract the woman that you want, that woman who's feminine, fit, submissive, all those great things, deep throat, right? You just like I'm not attracting that top tier guy. You men are not attracting that top tier woman. That's just the way it works.
So are you saying that a large percentage or a majority of a woman's value and the caliber of man that she's able to attract is within her looks?
Looks and personality, absolutely.
Yes,
Okay, because
that's
at
what
the
you
end of
guys
the
want.
day, okay, at the end of the day, and look, I say what I mean what I say, okay? Because at the end of the day, a lot of these women, what are you ultimately getting pursued for? How many of these women are actually getting rings put on their fingers? How many of these women are actually getting pursued for serious relationships by these quote unquote high value men, as you like to call them, by these high earning men? Very small percentage. So my point is, a lot of you are being used and abused. A lot of you are a quick fuck to a lot of these guys, the same way you're a quick fuck to a lot of the average and below average men. And that's just the truth at the end of the day. So even to the women that, okay, you may have had the opportunity to go to some neighborhood because some guy wanted to screw on you, but did he make you his girlfriend? Did he make you his wife? No. And that's what it's going to continue to be. So you get ran through by a lot of these guys. You might get to go on a vacation, you might get to get some material gifts, but you're doing that at the expense of getting your trachea abused. So is it ultimately worth it at the end of the day? See,
Trachea.
y'all don't want to talk, y'all don't want to talk the real. Y'all don't want to talk the real because whenever it's time to show these men, y'all are not able to show them. Does anyone
I got two things to
does
say.
anyone
One of
disagree with what I just said? If what I just said was wrong, prove to me that it's wrong.
I'm so sorry. I was in the comments. Can you repeat it? Because I'm sure I'll have something to push back on it.
I just said a lie. I'm not going to
um,
repeat it again respectfully, but
I don't think that what you said was wrong. But I just wanted to talk about the high earning man. And when I hear men say that we don't care about your money, your career, your status, and all this kind of stuff, you guys do know that wealthy men marry wealthy women, right?
absolutely. Absolutely.
These women are literally bred to marry these men. They married them because of their status and their power and what their family can offer, right? These women are they take etiquette training, they take embellishment training, they know multiple languages, they play multiple instruments, they are trained through from their childhood to adulthood on how to work a room when it comes to business meetings and things like that. Like these wealthy men are indeed marrying other wealthy families, right? So when I hear that we don't care about your money, your status, your blah blah blah, like these men, they need to know they do care about that stuff because they need to know that if you're going to buy a suit from him for him, you're not going to go to Burlington Coat Factory to buy him a suit. That you're going to buy him a suit that shows that he has money if he's going around other business people who also have money. I just want to say that. And secondly, us working moms, us working women, we get demonized, right? We get demonized, and this is one of the biggest issues that we have on this here internet.
I'm sorry.
We don't. They
Really
tell
quick.
us
I'm
that
sorry.
we
Really quick. Do you get demonized more so by men, or do you get more so demonized by women?
by
Be
both.
honest.
I would say more so by men. The only thing that I do say that a lot of women say is that what happens if a kid gets sick from school? Why should he have to leave work? Why wouldn't you do it? That shows that you don't care about your kids. But I hear men say that all the time as well. I hear from women though. Like I hear they say that women who work are masculine. I've heard I personally, like I said, I'm kind of an introvert, like more of an extroverted introvert, but so I like to work the night shift. When I mentioned that I worked the night shift, they call my husband all types of simps and all that kind of stuff. How can you have your woman work at night? Like, so women, they tell women that they need to stay home, that I want a traditional wife who's going to stay home, cook and clean and be with the kids. When she's pregnant, I want her to stay at home for the first 5 years of life until they go to school. Like, this is what they ask of women to do. And so when a woman says, okay, well, I'm not going to have the other 45,000 once we have a child, I won't have the other 45,000 because I'll be staying home. So we only live, can we live off of your 45K? Like, that's a valid question.
Okay,
If you don't want her to work.
May I say something really quickly, sir? If
yeah,
that's
go ahead.
okay? Thank you. When she said that a person with a lot of money is not going to be checking for someone like an average woman, that is such BS. I actually was engaged to a whole millionaire, so I don't know what you're talking about. And clearly he had more money than me.
But did you marry him,
I
though?
don't know what you're talking. No, I did not marry him.
You're an outlier. Most of y'all are just
Okay.
bikinis on a yacht. You guys are not.
I don't
You guys
even
are not
wear
engaged to be
bikinis or
married.
go
Most of
on
y'all with
yachts. What are you
bikinis
talking
on.
about? You don't fucking know me. I was in nursing
I
school.
didn't say you. I
Watch
didn't
your
say you. I
fucking
said
mouth.
most of
I
y'all
was in
who
nursing
have
school.
low
That's insulting
income.
to me.
I never said
I'm 40
you.
years
I
old
never said
and I
you.
was in registered nursing
You're
school.
making it personal.
You
You're making
tried
it
to come
personal.
for me.
Nobody was talking about you
All I did was
specifically.
basically
I
say
didn't
that
talk for
there are,
you.
listen, shut the fuck up.
Oh.
That there are people
Well, I don't know who the
that
fuck
are
you talking
average
to.
women
Don't talk to
that
me like
are
that,
with
man. I wasn't disrespectful to
men
you. I
that
can
have
get
money. That
disrespectful.
can
I don't want to
happen.
hear nothing you got to say. I don't want to hear nothing
Shut
you
the
got to
fuck
say
up.
because you
You
over
look
here
like a
getting
clown anyway.
disrespectful. Nobody was talking to you. All you do, people like you,
I
y'all
was
just
trying
clap
to have
cheeks.
a
That's why he didn't
dialogue
even
with
marry you.
you,
You
and
knew you
just
had
to
the
let
ring
you
on your
know that
finger.
it happened.
Yeah, he duped you. He duped
Hey,
you
come
because
on,
you don't even
y'all.
have a ring
Stop
on your
doing
finger. You're
that.
not
Get
even
back to
married.
the
You're married to
topic. Get back
somebody
to the
else.
topic. Get back to the
I
topic.
had to leave that man for a lot of
Get back to
fucking
the topic.
reasons.
Okay, so yeah, let me say something really quick, and then we're gonna have India Love and Glammy speak. I wanted to say this, okay? Um, especially a young man or a young woman that comes from a well-to-do family, a wealthy family, that has they have investments, they got land, they got properties, they got inheritance, they have inheritance and they have trust for generations to come and things of that nature. They're not looking to put that in the hands of some bird brain, some loudmouth bird brain, hot Cheetos and chili cheese eating women. Okay, like you when it comes to stuff like that, how fat your ass is does not matter. So y'all can continue to put all this value into how you look, and you don't want to put you don't want to practice being feminine. You don't want to practice being able to actually bring value to a man, actually to be able to be like a helper to a man. You're not going to be with those men long term. Okay, like Miss Betty said, you're going to continue to get ran through. You're going to continue to get your trachea abused. You're going to continue to be on bikinis in the yachts, and that is going to be it. But don't listen to me. Keep doing what you want to do. Go ahead, India, and then I'm gonna have Glammy speak.
Yeah, I just feel like, a lot of, I think you kind of made a point there because a lot of people are not going to ask for less than what they're able to offer. A lot of people, reasonably speaking. So if somebody is a millionaire, they're not to say you are less than them, but if they make a certain amount of money or they have a certain group of people and lifestyle that they have around them, it's less likely that they're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, I agree with what you were saying. Um, and Blasian, I feel like, you know, you're we don't know people's backstory. We don't know what they went through. So I don't think Betty was trying to degrade you or, anything like that. I think you maybe misinterpreted what she was trying to say. And good for you for going to nursing school
Thank
and
you. Thank you
everything.
very much.
Yeah, like good for you. I was gonna even say I don't know your situation with the person you are with, but for
Hmm.
me, money, I don't care if he's rich. I've heard horror stories about narcissistic, abusive men
Yep,
and women.
that's
Okay?
right.
no amount of money is worth jeopardizing my mental health and
Amen.
physical well-being. Period. End
Amen.
of story. If
Absolutely.
some girls or guys want to chase after people because of money, right? And they don't want to look at the other important factors for, let's say, a long-term relationship, right? Because that's why they don't have the rings and whatever. They overlook all the stuff that comes with having a healthy long-term relationship. They want to just focus on the dollar signs, and then there's risks to that, risks that I would never wish on anyone. And so unfortunately, a lot of people have to learn the hard way. So I don't think it was right, Betty, for you to tell Blasian, oh, that's why he didn't put a ring on it. What if he was abusive? And I think we got to be careful with that. But I'm not gonna
I
get
don't
into
think
that.
it's right that she tried to call me out my name and tell me to shut the F up when I wasn't even making it
Because
personal about her.
You
I was
said it in
talking
the
about
once
room.
you
You
people
try
in
said
to
it. I'm
come
general.
for
sorry.
me, I'm going to address you
Don't talk to
like the
me.
civilian that you are.
Don't
I'm
talk
going to
to me.
speak to
I don't
you
give a fuck
like you
about
don't
what you
have.
got to say.
So
I don't give a
then,
fuck about
if
what
you
you got to
don't want
say.
me to talk to you,
You
then
were
don't
nothing.
talk
You were
about
no.
me.
You did nothing good but clap your cheeks on a yacht, just like I said you did.
I
Shut
Oh,
up.
was
it's
That's
not
all you
even.
need
okay,
to
I've
do.
guys.
never even been on a yacht.
It's
I've
okay.
never
So
even been on a
yeah,
yacht.
I
That's
didn't
not
mean
even
to.
how I act. See, that's very insulting to
All
me.
right.
I
Yeah, I
don't
didn't mean to
care.
That's
resurface
I
the
very
don't
fact
care. You
insulting
that
to
come
me
at
we
me
because
we
I've
were
never
just
even
kind
disrespectfully,
been
I'm
of.
gonna
on a
come at you
fucking yacht.
disrespectfully.
How the
Anyways,
fuck is
Mind
you
your
mad at
fucking
me?
business. I don't have nothing for you. I don't have nothing to say to you.
Stupid
I don't have
asshole.
nothing to
Shut
say
the
to you
fuck
because
up,
nobody was
bitch.
talking
yeah.
about you. You made it personal. You made it.
Okay, go
Y'all
ahead,
chill
India.
out.
Go ahead, India.
Yeah.
Mother.
Yeah, so anyways, that's my take on that, and I think it's just important. Listen, if you have certain standards and your standards are short and money and attractiveness and that's it, that's whatever, go for it. But for some people, that type of logic or that type of standard can be very dangerous for so many reasons, and it could come off as arrogant when you try to devalue other people when they don't have those standards and say, oh, well, now you're settling for less. I just think we need to be careful on both sides of how we present that. But, anyways, yeah, that's all I got to say.
India, thank you for coming up here. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Miss
it.
India.
Yes, I'm going to
You,
get
you're
off.
all
Thank you.
yeah, you're always welcome
Nice
here.
meeting you.
You can catch me on my main page, but you're always welcome to come here. Right? I'm gonna drop you and bring somebody else on. Okay.
All right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Bye.